Greetings everyone, and Great here with another not Age of Empires, Dawn of War, Company Wars 1 replay. My mind's going crazy. Spawn on the north side as the US forces, who has SimplydasGref. Spawn on the south side as the Panzer elite player, we have Liege. The first replay of the day, I'm butchering up everything. Oh great, that's quite a bit of trash talk right there. It's gonna be a bit of a toxic game, ain't it? We got a barracks being employed on out. Engineers pushing away over here and there. We do not have a third squad of engineers. Panzer elite's going straight for the fuel point. He may be eyeing for a quick 222. Okay, a lot of trash replays. I guess, what do you say? Any good replays? Asking about that. I think I failed. I'm not a big fan of trash talkers. Please stop. And you're just as bad as well. Remind me not to go... There must be some sort of beef between these two players. I'm really half tempted to stop this replay at this moment. On the left side, the riflemen are capturing some points. We do have the engineers capture the munitions point as well. Both Panzer Grenadiers in this region. This one's going for the strategic point. This Panzer Grenadier's got an eye for the cutoff point. Kaliningrad may knock them around, but he does get the full capture right there. So it's not successful enough in order to stop the capture. We do have G43s on this squad here. They are behind some heavy cover. Kaliningrad decapturing the point as well. They can advance forward to this hay bale to get better coverage around that point. I think he's referring to the Kaliningrad. Here's pushing way forward. We do have a Jeep being deployed on out. And down south, we do have some Panzer Grenadiers capturing some sectors.
What's next?
Engineers capture the VP. You'll get ever so slight VP advantage. And now we've got the Panzer Grenadiers pushing forward, and they do force back the engineer, no problem. Over here, Jeep does spot the Kaliningrad. And Kaliningrad does circle around. He's trying to draw the Jeep towards the Panzer Grenadiers. He's allowing the Jeep stay in the region to allow the Panzer Grenadiers engage the Jeep. Trying to body block the Jeep now himself. And Jeep's going to go ahead and reverse move through the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers getting some great damage right there. Why run away when you can fight with an unarmed unit? Riflemen capturing the strategic point right there. Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward, and since they're busy focusing on microwave, they're busy not trash talking. Kaliningrad is trying to capture the point now. Panzer Grenadiers advance forward. We likely will see... Oh, he's going to top off the health of the Kaliningrad. Very nice. We may see another squad of G43s relatively soon. Another Panzer Grenadier has deployed on out, and we do have a Kampfgruppe company. This is going to go for some 250 half tracks, I'm guessing. Go for a bit of more mounted play. Rifleman squad does get run away. And over here, we've got the Jeep advancing forward, trying to pursue the Kaliningrad. Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward. Getting some good hits there onto the Jeep. The Jeeps are just driving on forward. Riflemen capturing that fuel point now. Panzer Grenadiers are running around. And the Jeep does spot the infantry half-track. That, of course, alerts him that beast fighting gets an infantry half-track. Jeep's seeing quite a bit of fire. He may need to research some sticky bombs on to help deal with that infantry half-track. And Jeep does get a little bit rubber banded right there. This rifleman squad is trying to capture this fuel point here. There's two rifleman squads out on the field. Doesn't have enough manpower for a third at the moment. Or just got the third one out now. The rifleman squad does get suppressed thanks to the infantry half-track. Does fall back after decapturing the fuel point. G43 squad has mounted up, trying to be pursuing this rifleman squad. And the rifleman squad will fall back entirely. Jeep is advancing forward, trying to get some damage there onto the half-track. Does body block it right there, getting some good damage onto each other. But the Jeep will sustain a bit more damage. This rifleman squad could rotate on over to get some rifle fire onto the infantry half-track. And engineer squad are going to take time to repair up that Jeep. Two squads of riflemen here. No research on the barracks at the moment. It does fall back both rifleman squads.
Our front lines are collapsing.
Rifleman squads, of course, do fall back. Let's see, load up another squad in the back of this infantry half track, and the unloads them both. While going to just top off the hill. Jeep is advancing forward, trying to get some damage in on these forces. And do have another rifleman squad being deployed on out. I think I clicked on an invisible button. That happens a bit too often. Kenny Grant has received quite a bit of fire there and decides to get some health repaired onto it. Down south, we've got the engineers going for the cutoff point. Very nice. Panzer Grenadiers sort of doing nothing here. And the engineer squad could potentially get wiped out. We know about the two squads in there. Does get inside the house there. Did receive quite a bit of damage while entering the house as well. Get some bullets onto the half track, but of course the damage output from them is not too great. And the flamer squad does get suppressed, unable to capture that strategic point. Kind of grab pushing way forward now. Panzer Grenadiers may eye some repairs there, as well as this garrison could likely get wiped out. The field point is not in supply as well, and Ketagrad and Infantry Track are skirting around. Has recaptured that point again. The Rifleman squad is quite wounded. He may need to get out. He doesn't have enough VPs to get, or command points to get out Rangers nor Airborne, does he? Infantry Abstract is seeing quite a bit of fire there. Jeep is advancing forward. Does get an inch of damage into crit there. Jeep's going to try to go for the armor. Does a good job of interrupting. The Rifleman squad needs to be ordered to move forward. The Jeep will go down. And his late response with the Rifleman. Oh, one squad needs to fall back. Does fall back. Both Panzer Grenadiers fall back. These Rifleman squads, they're going to have to go through negative ground and likely get suppressed. And does get some good damage on the infantry half track. It's a couple bullets away from death. Doesn't get any suppression just yet. And does get some suppression there as well. Unable to secure the kill.
Sector being captured.
I would say he's a little bit slow in that engagement there. There was those three rifleman squads sort of hanging back when they should have charged forward earlier. A little bit... Needed a little bit slight improvement in micro. Of course, that's easier said than done sometimes. But engineers advancing forward. And the Panzer Grenadier squad does fall back. At this point, these points are all not in supply. This point has been fully captured by the US player. And this point is not in supply for the US player either. We've got the Rifleman squad advancing forward, trying to get the fuel point. Going for a triage center, he needs that quite a bit. A lot of his squads are quite wounded. He could stand to get some, potentially some bars to help engage that half track.
We are losing.
Currently, 4 rifleman squads have been deployed on out. Doesn't look like he got any other upgrades. He's now up at 1 command point, thanks to building that triage center. He gets a much needed healing there.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory.
Rifleman falls back nice and early. He's quite wounded, so falling it back to get the triage center will help preserve his manpower.
This rate will be taken Berlin by Krebs. Fuel point is being taken by the enemy.
If we look at the Axis player, we do have a Panzer support command now deployed out on the field. Let's go ahead and keep him selected. Don't see any command or any doctrine selected. He looks like he has all of his command points. And he's going for a light ATF track. I think he's misjudging how much ahead his opponent is, or how much his opponent is behind, because he's not going to be deploying out anything that needs to be snared. Rifleman squads are advancing forward. Since we know what he's going for in that Panzer support command, let's switch back to the US player. Panzer Grenadiers does have some G43s. There's 2 squads in the back. This half track does have defense veterancy as well.
Riflemen ready, sir. Composition.
Let's get some good damage down. The Ketagrad does go down. I heard sticky bomb research, so he can charge for sticky bombs. This guy can pop out of the building and get sticky bombs off no problem. And this half-track will have trouble retreating back. He needs to skirt all the way over here. The US player does have some munitions for sticky bombs. He may be eyeing to wound the half-track before trying to throw it as a little bit of an ambush. Light half-track is advancing forward. I just heard him fire. There it is. Fire some rounds to the house. Rifleman squad's not in range of the Panzer Grenadiers. This rifleman squad has received a bit of fire there. The half-track's a little bit wounded, but nothing enough to get a kill from a sticky bomb. They do got multiple sectors being re-secured by their riflemen. Trying to go for the fuel point there. Another squad of engineers haven't put an out, so it's got 3 squads of engineers, maybe for capping pressure. And you may hear my drink opening up. Please give me one moment with that. Sorry about that. Panzer Grenadiers eyeing for the munitions point to the right. Panzer Grenadiers going to be trying to get the cutoff point here, but only the munitions point will be in supply. These points are not in supply. A lot of sectors just not in supply. The Rifleman squad is going to be camping this cutoff point. Half-track is receiving a bit of fire. Looks like he's focusing down this Panzer Grenadier and not getting many bullets onto the half-track, if any.
Supply lines are broken.
Yeah, we've got one guy firing on this side. Ooh, and finds a landmine there with the light ATF track. The rest of the Rifleman squad will need to fall back sooner rather than later. These Rifleman squads have been reinforced, healed up, and pushing their way out. Both sides are pretty low in any sort of income. It has gone for airborne. Most people think airborne's not a great doctrine, but at this point in time, getting out some Records rifles would not be half bad. It does have enough manpower for an airborne drop as well. This Rifleman squad needs a bit, maybe get out of the garrisons relatively soon, but he does go ahead and swap it out with some other forces. Rifleman squad does get, or engineer squad does get inside the garrison. We got 3 Panzer Grenadiers in this region. Light half track has been fully repaired. The Rifleman squad gets inside the garrison as well. Flamer getting some good bursts of flame onto his opponent. This Rifleman squad is hitting something, but it looks like they're just firing through this little gap right there, as some of these models are dancing around that hedge line. Rifleman squad up here getting some good fire onto the exposed Panzer Grenadiers. This garrison's still doing quite well. And over here, we got the light TF track picking off some engineer models. Our airborne squad has been pulled on out. Not sure where the airborne squad may have been dropped on in. Way back here, safe deployment.
Sector being captured.
And now the flame engineer needs to fall back. He's prone to getting that wiped. Over on the left side, just Panzer Grenadiers. Engineer squad does fall back. And engineers over here does fall back as well.
Just tell us what you need us to do.
Rifleman squad, Panzer Grenadiers engaging. Panzer Grenadiers, of course, are not moving around. And Rifleman squad will get nice and close to engage the Panzer Grenadiers. Infantry tracks advance forward, load up 1 Panzer Grenadier. Let's just load up with the G43 squad in the back, and the Rifleman squad does fall back. The course rifles are being researched. We got 2 light TF tracks. That's a lot of number of light TF tracks.
Supply lines are broken.
So, going for airborne squads against... He's gotten way too many light TF tracks. He was expecting something that's not airborne. And so going for these airborne troops is actually relatively good. Get some great hits there onto the light TF track. Does get the engine crit. And does take out that light TF track. He could go for some bar riflemen. And I think he may be deciding to skip motor pool entirely, as was Pink Depot. So going for bars wouldn't hurt, because he has 4 rifleman squads that will help provide him some good fire support. Oh, that Panzer Grenadier loads up the back of that half track.
Engineers here.
Panzer Grenadiers push way forward. The US player does have more VPs than his opponent as well. Now got the riflemen and the recourse rifles advancing forward. Let's switch to the Panzer elite players, so we may see what doctrine's going for. Kearney's not gone for a doctrine. He is going for a 222. Which we notice the US player still has access to sticky bombs. He just haven't thrown any just yet. Which could give them a nice little ambush effect. A little bit element surprise never hurts. And Panzer Grenadiers, there's a lot of Panzer Grenadiers in this region. We've got 4 squads of Panzer Grenadiers, 4 out of 5. The last one's back at home, getting reinforced and healed on up. Engineers and riflemen are capturing up these points. Got more G43s pulled out. He saw the airborne troops, so maybe a safe idea to go for G43s and STGs.
Our supply lines are broken. We have territory out of supply. Our forward supply lines
And
are
right now, the
broken.
US player is going to capture a lot of VPs. The US player has a great advantage in VPs right at the moment. Flame engineers trying to get inside this garrison. And these engineers do fall back. Light half-track is quite wounded. This infantry half-track is advancing forward. There is a recoilless rifle squad here.
Attacking our petrol depot.
Recoilless rifles are pushing way forward, trying to engage this infantry half-track, and they're going nice and close to increase not only accuracy, but also chance for follow-up shots. Does spot the 2-2. He's going to retarget towards the 2-2. Nope, he spreads fire, gets one hit there on the infantry half-track. He does fall back the squad now. He may want to get out the Paradrop AT as his next ability at the current rate.
We are losing a munitions depot.
Reference squad receiving a bit of fire now.
Our supply lines
The
are
reference
broken.
squad does
We
fall
have territory
back.
out of
Over on the right
supply.
side, we have the engineers captured some various points. We got the light TF track over here as well. And we do have now Tank Hunter. I guess he's going for a Hetzer spam? He knows he's fighting against airborne. He doesn't... I disagree with Tank Hunter.
Forward supply lines are broken.
Sure, Hetzers are nice and all, but... yeah. Two Panthers are just much more manpower efficient than Hetzers, in my opinion. Let's go for Tank Hunter. And now we've got the Rifle Squad advancing forward. He may throw a sticky bomb onto that Hetzer. Let's switch over back to airborne units. Some more explosive doctrines, let's just say, are available. He does have access to the Paradrop AT guns now. He has Paradropped in an AT gun. Over on the left side, got the AT gun, and do have some landmines being employed on out.
Building complete.
Infantry half track, 2-2, light half track, and Hetzer are all advancing forward. Lots of light vehicles. Recoilless rifles finds a shot there. Panzer Grenadiers receiving a bit of fire from the airborne troops and the rifle squad. AT gun sitting on up. Good hits on the recoilless rifles. Takes out the infantry half track. Oh, and I thought he lost the entire squad inside, but do have one remaining model.
Yes, sir. Rifles here.
Infantry units are advancing forward. They've got Veteran C1 riflemen, Veteran C1 flamer engineers. 2-2 can engage at long range. There's no recoilless rifles in this region. ATSR does fire a shot. I think that was either a Jeep or Kettengrad. Over on the right side, we got the Panzer Grenadiers getting inside the garrison. Rifleman squad trying to capture the VP. He does have Veteran C1 rifleman there. Does have 2 Vet 1s and 1 Vet 1 engineer in total. ATSR light half track is a little bit wounded. 2-2 still have plenty of health.
Munitions point
And
under attack.
rifleman getting some point blank shots onto the Panzer Grenadier. This player could try eyeing to deploy out some munitions caches, or observation posts on munitions points, I should say, in order to get some more call-in abilities, because you know Airborne has a lot of powerful call-in abilities. Sticky Bomb has connected now. Rifleman squad is, however, a little bit wounded. Heads are fully mobilized, takes out with the anti-tank gun, and goes out of control while immobilized. ATS are advancing forward. Light half track here support as well. And the Rifleman squad does fall back. Flamer Pioneers does get wiped out. Not really paying attention over on the right flank. The Panzer Grenadier squad does fall back as well. We do have 2 Rifleman squad
Enemy
and
source drop is now
the
available.
airborne troops. Panzer Grenadier here is quite wounded. I think he just fully treated it right there. And he has gone for Tank Depot now. He knows about the... what's it called?
Supply lines are broken.
The Hetzer, so he knows the doctrine his opponent has gone for.
Supply lines are broken.
The supply drops could be very useful, not only for the missions and the fuel, but also could be very useful for getting an MG out. Mortar not so much, but getting the MG would help him lock down some of the right side of the map, as well as the left side. So I would like to see him recruit the MG.
Strap that flamethrower on and right down recruits in. We're back to full strength.
Does have quite a bit of fuel. He has enough for a Sherman tank. Just needs quite a bit more manpower.
Objective secured. Rifle squad defending.
Flame engineers advancing forward, trying to get some flame reverse off. Does get some good flame reverse off there. I do have a number of Panzer Grenadiers in this region. 3 squads of Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward. Looks like 2 of them unupgraded. This whip, all 3. There's a 4th one there now. Flame engineers receiving quite a bit of fire. Does rotate around, try to hit this individual one, pick them off one at a time. ATSR is advancing forward, and we've got the rifleman squad. They want to eye this light cover. This rifleman squad could charge forward for a sticky bomb. Flame engineers trying to charge forward as well. He's trying to support his flame engineers with his riflemen. One of the engineer squads had fallen back. LITF track trying to find some shots there. Largely unsuccessful, and the riflemen and engineers do fall back.
People.
We're losing ground out there.
Panzer Grenadiers are capturing this munitions sector. Over here, we do got the Panzer Grenadiers behind some cover, engaging the riflemen. Riflemen are currently at, still really the same, but the AT gun is at efficiency 2, being 2 vehicle kills, so we'll definitely help out with that.
Point is ours.
Why did he? Oh, he is getting a 4 Hellcat. I noticed he's deploying more and more supply drops there, but he gets a nice engine damage crit there. AT gun could advance forward, but there's a lack of support here. Hellcat can charge forward now. He knows about the damaged engine on the Hetzer. The chance of him overrunning the Hetzer is quite easily, though he does have to be careful about any teller mines. That is a US landmine there spotted. Flame engineers forced their way forward. Got 2 riflemen, 2 flame engineers, and 1 airborne troop. Flame engineers should be able to get some good damage there on these Panzer Grenadiers. They tend to like to stay a nice little tight triangle, which makes them very vulnerable to the AoE of the flamer. Trying to repair up the Hetzer now. The Hetzer is repaired. Riflemen do have plenty of munitions for the AT sticky bombs. 1 sticky bomb has connect. ITF track is in the region as well, so can't get the crit on a Hellcat. The Hellcat's actually still back home in reserve. And what just happened? Somehow my game just randomly alt-tabbed. I have no idea what caused that. Over here, we've got the Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward. These forces are engaging the Panzer Grenadiers. They do fall back now. And that's the AT gun there. Another landmine by the US player. This landmine was swept but not detonated. An AT gun will be sitting up in the, looking down the central road. Flame engineers could go and take time to clear out the garrison, or claim the garrison at this current rate. Rifle engaging at close range. Light half-track is getting some shots on in. 5 infantry kills with it. We have a second Hellcat now deployed out on the field. Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward, trying to get some good engagements.
Take cover.
Riflemen and airborne troops have seen quite a bit of damage there. Another rifle squad is trying to get inside the garrison. Hellcat has been spotted. So has the landmine. Also, not spotting the landmine accidentally detonating would have been half bad. Now we do have recon runs. He's pretty close to getting. He should have them for strafing run, I believe. 2 command points. Hellcats are going to make their way forward. There's a lot of Panzer Grenadiers in this region. The light cap track is facing the wrong way. Strafing run. Ooh, there's going to be a deadly strafing run. Going for the AT Hetzer. I'm not sure where the strafing run actually came on in. That's going to mobilize crit there onto Hellcat with the light TAP track. Hetzer does go down. Destroyed engine crit there. There goes the light TAP track. Where did that strafing run even go? I have no idea where that strafing run went. To me, that looked like a really good target right there for the strafing run.
Got ground activity over here.
AT gun will get overran.
We got enemy crew movement. Point captured. Hard on him.
Enemy unit.
Black Irving
down.
does go down right there. He's going to be focusing on the Flak Irvings now.
Ready to go on the
Hellcats, of course, still has his tracks broken. The US player does have a VP capture against him, but he still has over 400 tickets. Black Irving goes down as well. And now got the AT gun actually captured. Trying to pick off this Hellcat now. Rifleman squad could potentially finish off that AT gun quickly. This AT gun does pack on up, rotating around, dancing around, and does go down.
Unit down.
Was he trying to go for the pack bug or the reload rate bug? And that's not cool. Make accusations like that without really looking into it. Hellcat's firing away against something. He's force firing the ground. I'm not sure why.
Axis are winning the battle. Get back in the fight.
Hellcat engaging around. Doesn't have the 50 cal. And looks like the Pennsylvania player has cast in GG, and that is the end of the game. I had to fast forward for the rest of it. Oh, when I cast replays, I cast on YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. And that's the end of the replay. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.